Hello, friends, and welcome back to Soul GPS Tarot. I'm Miriam, and today we have a pick a card reading, and the title is What Can You Expect for the Rest of 2025? Once again, we have three groups to choose from. We have Group 1, which has this beautiful oracle card from Earth Angels Message Cards by Amanda Clark. I'll just show you that. It's called Shea. Group 2 has a card from the same deck called Journaling. And Group 3, another gorgeous card from that deck called Faith. Now, we also have three different tarot decks. Group number 1's deck is, what is that? Tarot of the Divine. Group number 2's deck is Cat Tarot by Megan Lynn Cott. And Group 3's tarot deck is Tarot of Mystical Moments by Katrin Wells Stein. And I'll put those in the description. So go ahead and take a moment to choose whichever pile you feel most attracted to. And if you're attracted to more than one, of course, follow your intuition. And I will meet you in your piles, which will have their timestamps listed in the description. I'll see you there. Welcome, pile 1. If you selected this card, this oracle card called Shea, this is going to be your pile. And I'm going to go ahead and read there's words on the back that I'll read to you in just a minute. And I'm going to lay it to the side for a moment. And you chose the tarot deck, the Tarot of the Divine, which is based on folk tales from all around the world. So it's really kind of fun to read into them and consider how the stories play into the, archetypal images on the regular Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. So anyway, if you're a tarot nerd, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, you can just disregard that. So I've shuffled these quite well, but I'm going to go ahead and give them one more shuffle, and then we'll go ahead and select your cards. So 1 second here, I twist things around. Kind of a big guy, but I think we can do it. Come on. There we go. Whew. Okay, that was something. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that deck. Good. All righty. So we're going to do like we did in the past video. I'm going to go top, bottom, top, bottom. We're going to do 6 cards to begin with. So we've got card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Just setting this to the side for a minute. So we'll get to those in a second. So your card, Shea, it says, "The fairies and the animal kingdom admire you. You bring them comfort during difficult times. You have the ability to help the fae as they can work alongside you to help the natural world. When the time is right, you will know what to do." And your affirmation is, "I am connection with the fae and the natural world." That's lovely. Okay, so this is really tuning into the natural world and little fairy beings. And we'll see how that ties in. If it ties in or if it's just a separate special message for you. Okay. So let's actually go over here. Good. So let's do your tarot cards. The question is, what can you expect for the rest of 2025? And let's see what we've got. Card 1, you have the 2 of coins. Okay. Card 2, you have the Hierophant. Card 3, the Ace of Wands. 4 is Justice. 5 is the King of Swords. And 6 is the Nine of Coins. Okay. Well, pile 1, I should say group 1. I keep saying pile, and I'm really going to try to stop because when I first started listening to tarot readings, I remember feeling a little weirded out by being referred to as a pile. So I'm going to try to call you a group. If I call you a pile, it is not personal. Okay. So let's just get the read on this. I think this Shea card is advising you to seek some comfort in nature, comfort, balance, I think. And I say that because the Two of Coins, this, I don't know, can you see that okay? Let me just make sure. Yeah, it kind of cut off the bottom of the cards when I did that, but I want you to be able to see the whole card. So I'll push the second row up when it's time. So the Two of Coins, this mother here is half human and half bear, and she has two little. She has a little child who is a human child on the top and a bear on the bottom, and this other child who's a bear on the top and a human on the bottom. And it's difficult for her to be trying to balance herself between two very different worlds. And the closest correlation, I would say, probably comes from our normal everyday experience of an unsatisfying work-life balance. So I would say that you might want to think about um, thinking outside the box and being creative about shifting that work-life balance to life-work balance. At the end of our lives, it's very unlikely that we are going to say to ourselves, oh, how I wish I had gone to the office more, right? So it's not easy, but consider what your truly aligned priorities are. You need to make money to buy food and to have shelter, etc. Absolutely. But is there a way in which you can earn your living, which is really aligned with you and with your spirit, you know? So the Hierophant is sort of saying, I think, that you may have been earning your keep or earning your bread, your money, through a traditional route. The Hierophant represents organizations and the tried and true way of doing things. And right next to that, we have the Ace of Wands, which is saying, but wait, there's this spark of fiery inspiration that you have within. And it's not that you can't take some of the, experience and wisdom that the Hierophant has brought to you. But when you're overbalanced with the Hierophant, this is what you're feeling like. So this tells me that there's some real untapped creativity. And this is saying that over the next couple of months, it's going to be a wonderful time for you to tap in, to really go deep and think about what lights you up inside. What would you do if you never had to get paid again? What would you do? And if you say just go on vacation, just go a little deeper. What is it about vacation? Where would you go? And once you were finished lying on the beach or eating in 5-star restaurants or whatever you would be doing, how would you want to be spending your days? Start there. What kinds of friendships would you be having? What kinds of collaborations would you enjoy? So begin there. Just kind of go inside and, I always say this, go inside and listen. Deep down, there is a creative desire that has been waiting in the wings and hasn't been satisfied. So, justice is sort of promising you that if you are true to yourself, if you are authentic, you suddenly become the griffin. You become this ultimate strength creature, which can soar over the landscape and soar over the ocean and has great power, access to great power, but uses it in a way that is aligned with its nature. And its nature is strong and loyal and beautiful. And the ultimate result of all this is the Nine of Coins, which is in other decks, the Nine of Pentacles, which is pretty much getting everything you want. So, I mean, this is a real trajectory here. It tells a very flowing story. You need to kind of respond to that still small voice inside of you that keeps saying, is this all there is? Is this am I a cog in a machine? You are not a cog in a machine. You are not. You have been particularly gifted to be in the world, and the world needs you to be you. And the machine, frankly, doesn't need a whole lot more cogs. So, who are you? What part of you recognizes the griffin, recognizes this majestic creature who can rise up and kind of be not the master of all it surveys, but yes, in the sense that it's not drawn into worldly things. It's not being crushed by worldly things or worldly concerns. As I say, it's soaring over the landscape. And so it is not troubled by the things of the world because it has kind of burst forth into its fullness. And that appears to be what is waiting for you. I think you need to get outside by yourself, touch grass, as they say, but really, take some quiet time where you can feel the energy of the earth flowing through you and listen deeply. As I've been talking, I feel certain that if this pile resonates with you, this group resonates with you, then you already have an inkling of what this Ace of Wands is about. There's already a neglected passion that's burning a hole in your pocket. You've been putting it off, and it's time. It's time to take a leap. You can take a half leap, to begin with. You can take a quarter leap to begin with. but you need to do a thing. You need to commit to do it, get it done, share it, put it out there, whatever it is. Your light is meant to touch people in the world, to help them along their journey. And so, whatever creative passion you have, that comes directly from spirit. And it's one of those things that you do not want to keep untouched in your bank account. It's not something we save up and gain interest on. It's something that grows only when you spend it, only when you fully inhabit yourself and grow into your glory and embrace all of who you are without apology, because you were created exactly as you were meant to be. Well, we just got lovely mood lighting because my light failed. So we'll continue with the low lighting. My apologies. But we've come down to pretty much having finished this story. Group number 1, I did it. I said group. Just need a little credit there. I'm excited for you. Between now and the end of this year, you are being called by spirit to actually do the thing that's been just kind of bugging you from the back of your mind for years and years. Do the thing. Do the thing before January 1st. And you'll set yourself up for a new year that is so much better balanced for you. And remember, it's life work balance. Life work. And if it's possible, and it is, try making those just one thing. Make your life your work. Make your work your life. Do work that feeds your soul so that you can share all that you are with the world. And believe me, I do understand the needs of the pocketbook, the needs of the regular everyday world, and we have to have food and shelter and take care of our families and all those things. And so I certainly don't mean to suggest that, I'll just, walk away and don't worry about it. What I mean is start shifting, start doing the thing that is your passion, start making it more and more of your life. And if you are able to monetize it so that it can support you, then that is a wonderful thing, and I would really look into it. Okay, group 1, I want to thank you so much for being here. And before you go, if you would hit the like button. If you've not subscribed yet, I would love it if you would subscribe. And if you have a second and you want to drop me a comment, just let me know what struck you from today's reading. That would be just awesome. I would love it. Thank you for all that you do to support me, whatever it is. Just watching the video is a huge support. And so I'm grateful that you're here. I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye. Hi, pile 2. As you can see, we've gone with lovely mood lighting. Not on purpose. My light died. But I think it's kind of romantic. So we're going to stick with it. You chose, did I just call you pile 2 after I said I wouldn't do that? I'm so sorry. Group 2. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. You chose this lovely card called Journaling. I'm going to lay it down here. I'm going to give a quick shuffle. I shuffled these cards ad nauseum before recording, but I'm going to shuffle them one more time on camera. Well, that was kind of chunky. Let me do that one more time. Not coordinated. Okay. little chunky. That's all right. Okay. So we're going to cut that deck, and I'm going to do the old over under deal. We're going to do 6 cards, one from the top, one from the bottom, back and forth and so forth till we get 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll start there. And we'll pull these out in a minute. We're going to start with the card journaling. You see that little fox? And he's hard to see because of the light. Let's see. How about this? Just kind of looking up at the stars at twilight, or, well, it's past twilight. It's nighttime. Thinking, reflecting, and this is about journaling. So let's see what it says on the back. It says, keeping a journal for yourself to write down feelings, ideas, and dreams will help you unlock solutions and manifest the best things for your life. It can also help you bring in a new wave of creativity, enlightening your day with inspirations for new projects. And your affirmation is, my journal assists me to keep inspired every day. Okay, we're going to put him right there in that nice light. And you selected Cat Tarot. So this is all kitties. And it's kind of fun. And we're asking Spirit, what can you expect for the rest of this year? So card number 1 is the Lovers. Well, okay. What do you have going on? I can hear you going, nothing. Well, just wait. What do we have here? We've got the 5 of, I want to say, oh golly, now I'm going to forget. Oh no. The 5 of something. Kind of looks like, I forget what the triangles are. That's awesome. Well, I'll figure it out. And we have got the 4 of Cups. So, yeah. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Kitty's waiting for his treat. Apparently he's being spoon-fed. That's nice. And we have the 3 of Cups. You've got a lot of love in this reading, I must say. That looks like 5 of Cups, but there's not 5 cups there. I'm going to figure that out. Oh my, and you have the Queen of Swords. All right, give me a second. I need to go figure out what the what that is. Okay, 1 second. Yes, I was right. It is the 5 of Swords. And okay, so we've got the Lovers, the 5 of Swords. We have the 4 of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, it's kind of a nice little balance going on here. So let's see if we can get a cohesive story. So the Lovers, it can be about actual lovers, about meeting somebody, but historically it's actually a card of choice, of making a choice. So let's just keep going. The 5 of Swords is kind of a card of conflict, and it's almost like this cat is on the outs with these 2 cats. They obviously had a bit of a battle over who got to sit in the little kitty tower, and the others won, I guess. He didn't get a spot, but if you know cats, as soon as they get out of that spot, they're probably going to pay for that. So it's like pick your battles, you know. Decide what it's really, really important to fight for, and decide what might not be, worth the fight. So here we have the Four of Cups. Yeah. So the kitty has got four different dishes being offered. He's looking at one, he's got two others here, and one's being offered to him. And he's just sitting there kind of dissatisfied. Nothing's working. And quite frankly, he's not even looking at the dish that's being offered to him. So he's so focused on the fact that there's nothing that he wants in here, nothing that he wants in here, nothing that he wants in here, that he's not even seeing that there might be something special on offer over here. So, it's kind of like if you're constantly looking at what you don't have, you might actually miss a really great opportunity, something that you could have. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is a very solid, strong little kitty. He's not fast moving, as you see. He really likes treats, and he wants some of his person's dinner, I think, maybe. But he's trustworthy. He is he gets his needs met. He knows how to do that. And then here we've got the Three of Cups, which is all about, friendship and support and so forth. So they're just really enjoying their water bowls together. Kind of messy. Um, but it's really about your friends and your circle of support. And the Queen of Swords is a very self-sufficient gal, right? And she does not pull punches. She is brutally honest. So this is interesting. And I think partly because it's cat tarot and the the pictures are throwing me even a little bit. But it looks like for the rest of the year, group number 2, you are being encouraged well, to do some journaling, to be uh, processing the happenings of your day, your relationships, um, by writing. And that is likely going to help you to navigate life, to make good choices. So it seems like there's some a little bit of fraught relationship energy here. Um, I think this is what you want. This is what you might have been experiencing recently. And it may have left you kind of going, why can't I have what I want? But what you want, you might not be recognizing because you're so focused on the fact that you keep getting what you don't want. There's somebody in your life who is a consistent provider of, um, you know, friendship, and who is solid, somebody who shows up when it counts. And I think I would spend a little focus on that person. That person is a part of your circle of support. And I think will tell it to you like it is. So, yeah, this is all relational from what I can see. It sounds like over these next several weeks until the end of the year, you're being asked to do a little bit of inventory, to look at what you do have. So if there's a relationship in your life that is kind of leaving you a little cold, leaving you feeling like it's not what you had hoped, um, First of all, communication. Um, you know, assuming what somebody might be feeling, and acting on that is likely to just, um, you know, exacerbate the situation. It's going to make things worse. Um, so maybe keep that in your back pocket. But it might be worth it to think about, or think about asking that person what's happening, and asking from a place of non judgment. Um, if you can get to a place that's just curious, I've noticed this, and I'm wondering what might be going on for you, because this isn't the way that it used to be. And it's not what I came to expect. And I just wonder if there's something going on that I can help you with, you know? A lot of times people are keeping things stuffed down, and yeah, their behavior changes, and we assume it's because they're upset with us, but really it could be something completely different, and they just haven't shared it, and they don't know that it's going to be okay to ask for support. Right? It's like the two of you are missing the boat with each other. It's like you both are operating on assumptions, and you really need to just, you know, remember that at the base is your friendship, is the support, the joy that you've had together, the quiet moments of peace and togetherness. Um, that's at the base. That leads you back to this, I think. Maybe this Queen of Swords isn't so much. It could be a friend in your life who will tell you what they observe, um, and not pull any punches, and that could be good. Um, it may be saying that it wouldn't be a terrible idea for you to be really clear with this person about how the change in their behavior is making you feel, not in a way of blaming them, but just factually. Kind of like, if you can help me understand what's going on with you, I think I can manage my own feelings better. But right now, I'm just confused, you know? Throughout this process, writing it down is going to help. Taking some quiet time by yourself to really ask, where is this change hitting you in your feelings? How long ago do you remember first having this feeling? A lot of times it's when we were pretty little. If somebody's behavior changes toward us, and we kind of go into fight or flight, because we have this fear that we might be, um, banished, rejected, pushed out. Um, and, for a child, that is an existential threat. We need to be cared for. But those feelings of fear stay with us as adults. And what we need to do is learn how to talk to ourselves, talk to our own inner child who's kind of freaking out when somebody else's behavior starts to change, and just let them know, let that inner child part of you know that you hear it, and that you care, and that you want to help it feel better. When it starts to get the idea that there is a grown up at home who wants to care for it and who isn't going anywhere, your whole nervous system can kind of settle. So I would say take the time to journal, take the time to talk to your own system, to your own inner child, and begin to, um, find some healing for yourself so that when you approach this person whose behavior has changed, you can do that from a place that's not quote unquote triggered. You can do that from a place that's calm because you know that you are safe no matter what. And you can genuinely and with compassion say, is there something I can do to help you? There might not be, you know. People people go through rough things, and some people need to just go in a cave and deal with it, and some people really want to talk with others. Um, if they need space and they just need to deal with it on their own, you then just have to go to yourself and say, how much space am I okay with? How long could I handle that? Can we stay? Can we keep talking? I don't know your particular situation, and they're all different to some degree, but when you find yourself in this situation, your first job is to bring safety and comfort to your own inner system. You really cannot have a clear, honest, compassionate conversation with someone you care about when you're coming from a place of abject terror. So, yeah, yeah. I I think I want to draw one more of the oracle cards and just see if we can um, get a little bit of a wrap up, a little clarity here, ideally. So we have got mercy, mercy. There's this little jackrabbit hopping down the hill. And it says, merciful actions such as compassion, forgiveness, and kindness towards others give healing to others and to yourself. Mercy is a difficult feeling to have sometimes, but the more you have mercy, the easier it will become. And your affirmation is, I have mercy for others. Well, I feel like that's kind of clear that that was a spirit message. That's just what we've been talking about. Yeah, so group number 2, the rest of the year has the opportunity in it for you to reestablish a really important connection, to get back to closeness. But the very first connection you have to um, kind of strengthen and solidify is your connection to your own inner child. That's where you need to start. And I wish you all the peace, all the luck, all the love. And I believe you can do this, and that next year is going to open up looking so much brighter for you. But get on that path. Get on that path of loving your inner child and caring for your inner child and reassuring that inner child that no matter what anyone else does, you are never going to leave. You are always going to be there, and you are always going to care for that child. And there it is. Group number 2, thank you so much for being here. And if you would take a moment and click the like button if you haven't already, if you've not subscribed, I would be so grateful if you wanted to do that. If you'd like to leave a comment for the rest of us, that would be fantastic. So thank you again, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile number 3. You'll notice that the light is lower and things have shifted a little bit. My light went out, and I I thought it was rather romantic, so we're going to leave it that way. You selected the card that says faith, and it's, can you see that? I know it's so dark. It's really quite lovely. There's looks like a white fox running down the hill here. And I will read the back to you in a moment. And the tarot deck for group number 3, I think I probably said pile again. I'm going to get used to not doing that. I shuffled these a whole bunch of times, but they're so kind of stiff and the deck is so big for my hands that I'm just going to give it a quick shuffle like this, since it's been very thoroughly shuffled. And then we will select your cards. This is Tarot of Mystical Moments. Okay, we go ahead and cut the deck and do the under or the over under method. We're going to do 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll set those over to the side. And before we lay out your cards, we're going to go ahead and read the card Faith. So it says, let things unfold. There are no choices to make right now. Know there are higher forces at work, manifesting what is to come. Have confidence in how things will turn out. It may not be as bad as it seems. Have faith in the higher spiritual power that will direct your life the way it is supposed to be. And your affirmation is, I trust the universe. Wow. Okay, that's good. I like that. So the subject of your reading today is, what can I expect? What can you expect for the rest of the year 2025? So card number 1. Whoops, sorry, I'm not doing reversals. I'm just holding it upside down. So we have the 5 of Swords. Let me pull that down a bit. Card 2, we have the King of Swords. Wow. 3, oh, apparently I shuffled them weird. We have the 9 of Pentacles. And we have card number 4, Judgment. 5 is the 7 of Swords. And 6 is the 5 of Pentacles. Once again, pile number 3 is, it has been experiencing a rough go. And it's interesting because the faith card said, have faith that it may not be as bad as it seems. So you've got kind of half and half here. The King of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, and Judgment are really very positive cards. The 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles are where the kind of difficulty lies. So let's just kind of get a feel for this. I think the 5 of Swords is really kind of about difficulty in relationships, kind of bullying type behavior. We're going to do the trickier cards first, and then I'll come around and weave the whole story. The 7 of Swords is about kind of theft and trickery. So you can see this nice looking lady in the little bonnet is all dressed in flowers. So pretty. Wait a minute. She's actually a snake. She's just dressed up in flowers, but she's a snake and she's stealing an egg. So just some kind of deceitfulness there. And the 5 of Pentacles is this card of feeling left out in the cold, and just, it appears that there's these warm windows are behind her. So there is help to be had, but she can't just sit out here in the cold. That will not get her where she needs to go. So let's do the kind of more positive cards at this point. The King of Swords, and by the way, I should point out that in this deck, there are male kings and female kings, and we happen to have the female king here. The King of Swords is a powerful and very intentional leader. You can see she's actually stringing the stars onto her needle, which is her sword, and arranging them on this lovely string of lights. And so she has the ability to arrange things in the way that suits her best. The Nine of Pentacles is all about self-sufficiency, being happy with oneself, kind of luxury, financial well-being, and so forth. And Judgment is kind of a wake-up call, final decision, getting you moving toward your life's purpose. So I will say, when tricky energies, tricky relationships, and kind of a feeling of being out in the cold, when that comes along in life, it's painful. Let's just call it like it is. But it's always also the moment in life when we finally kind of get realigned with our path. We can get really comfortable or uncomfortable, but we can be in relationships or situations which are not the best for us, but the idea of changing things feels even worse than it's like, staying with the devil versus the devil you don't know. So the thing is, that's not what life is meant to be. We're not meant to compromise ourselves and stay small. And I feel like this is the same topic, the same message as yesterday. So if you listened to yesterday's message, if you're watching this in real time, pile number 3 was essentially also about difficult relationship and realigning and moving forward. So if you happen to be one of those folks who pick pile 3 2 times in a row, it sounds like this is a very strong message from Spirit for you to really take stock of your life and your relationships, and look for places where somebody may be behaving in a way that if you really think about it, it makes it clear that they don't actually have your best interests at heart. I'm not going to, say that this is a bad person. I think basically bad behavior comes from some serious woundedness. We all get wounded in life. And we have different ways of coping with it and dealing with it. And some folks, lash out or become manipulative or whatever it is in order to try to keep themselves safe. And it ends up harming other people or just negatively impacting others. So what I see here is that you have the power, and you have this amazing possibility of, frankly, taking some time to go solo. You know, I'm not saying you should leave a relationship. That is 100% something that you need to be clear on and ready for if that's a thing that you want to do. But in your heart of hearts, if life isn't shaping up to be what you had hoped, I think this reading is asking you, in fact, to have faith that the universe has your back. That if you step away from what is bringing you down, I'm going to move these back up so you can see the whole bottom row. And you move toward the windows that are warm there in the background. And you unmask someone who they seem kind and nice and sweet on the outside, but underneath it, there's something going on that makes them not necessarily an emotionally safe person to be in connection with. This let me just pick it up. This Five of Swords. Once again, we've got these hidden energies. This one's hiding in a bonnet and hiding in flowers, but she's a snake. This one is holding this lovely flower, but she's obscuring part of her face. She's masked. And she's holding, I don't know if you can see that, but she's holding a piece of fabric that she actually tore right off the heart of this gentleman. And he's all tattered. So that really says that there's a relationship there where somebody's just not really able to function in a healthy way with you, and you deserve care and love and to be cherished. And once again, the one person in this world who can truly cherish you, truly see into what your deepest hopes and desires and needs are, is you. And depending how you look at that can sound, like what are you talking about? Well, look, there are parts of us that are wounded. We all have them. They live in the psyche, and a lot of times we get triggered or whatever, and they kind of jump into the driver's seat of our lives. This all of a sudden, this inner 6-year-old pops out because we're in a situation that is reminding our emotional body of whatever it was when we were 6 that kind of caused this little inner child to go into hiding to protect itself. And whenever it recognizes a similar type situation where it feels emotionally unsafe or whatever, it jumps forward, and then all of a sudden you are seeing the world through the eyes of this inner child. You feel hurt and abandoned and sad and all these things. And a lot of times we want to shove that part away or be like, just you're not helping me, go away. But when we remember that, in fact, this part of our mind is 6, it's 6 years old, it's little, and it needs care. It's been stuck down there for so long. And it's been thinking there's no love for it. There's no love that you can count on. But there's a part of yourself which is connected to the divine, to the universe, which is unharmed and which will last beyond this lifetime and was here before this lifetime. And that part is capable of so much love and compassion. And you can, if you are a person who prays, if you are a person who likes to just walk in nature to connect with the divine, whatever it is, you can begin to access that deep well of well-being that is capable of going back and rescuing that inner child and assuring it that there is a grown-up at home and that it's never going to be left behind again. It's never going to be left out in the cold again. It's never going to be, damaged in relationship. It's never going to be tricked or deceived. The Judgment card, I think, also can point to, if you want to take the concept of karma, if somebody is not capable of being in a loving, mature, compassionate relationship with you. I'm not saying karma as judgment, like, oh, that guy's going to get some karma, but more like everyone's on their own path. A person who is engaging in trickery and kind of, bullying tactics and so forth is by way of their own soul's journey, by way of growing into the highest version of themselves, is going to have to balance out the scales at some point. And Judgment is saying, you can have faith in that. You don't have to take care of achieving that balance. The divine God, the universe, is going to take care of each of us and where we are on our soul's journey. You can choose to operate from love, from abundance. You can be the King of Swords. You can pluck the stars from the sky and string them on your needle and create what it is that is highest and best for you. And that might mean kind of tending your own garden, building a life that is truly nurturing toward you, bringing you in from the cold, rescuing this little child, making a warm home that's safe. And this, again, this King of Swords, this I talked about this part of you which is connected to the divine. I think this is a great illustration of that. We would call that self energy. And what I'm referring to is a concept from a therapeutic modality called internal family systems therapy, which was developed by a guy by the name of Richard Schwartz. And you can look him up online. You can look him up on YouTube. You can watch stuff about internal family systems. But the idea is that we can look at our psyche as being made up of a bunch of different parts, protective parts and managing parts and, what we call exiles, little parts, young parts, wounded parts that get shoved down so that we can regain equilibrium. And so, there are these other parts that grow up to try to keep that one down and to try to keep the nervous system regulated. And but the problem is that you're paying such a high price for those wounded parts to be continuing to be managed and shoved down, when what they really need is compassion and healing. So I think I lost my train of thought there. But overall, between now and the end of the year, I would really start to focus on what a warm, loving, safe home looks like for you. And know that you deserve that. And not because, you're better than everybody else, because you're you. And you are here to be you, to be your whole wonderful self, with all the parts that you might think are bad, the parts that you might think are okay, the parts you might think are pretty good. It's all you, and all of it is good, actually. And all of it is meant to be here. And it's meant to have love and kindness and compassion and safety and well being. So you have an opportunity here. You have an opportunity to exercise faith and also power, the power of your own spirit, your own soul, your own consciousness, your own higher self. That's this, that can say, I'm a creator and I intend to create a life that feels safe for my own psyche, my own inner child, my inner children. I'm going to make a world for them that feels like they're nurtured as they well should be, as you well should be. You deserve to be nurtured and loved. So, group number 3, this is, I would look at this as a real opportunity. Instead of feeling burdened and sticking with the old playbook, start dreaming, start imagining, start, I don't know, make a vision board, do a Pinterest board. What does a peaceful, nurtured, compassionate, aligned life look like for you? What does safety, security, warmth, home look like for you in your ideal world? Because it's time to start building that. So, group number 3, I want to thank you so much for being here. And if you feel so inclined, I would be so grateful if you would hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done that already. And I would love to hear from you if you feel like leaving a comment. I want to send out my love and support for you. The rest of this year has the potential of setting you up for a wonderful life going forward. You can build a new foundation. Group number 3, I will hopefully see you very soon. I'll be here. I hope you'll come back. And I'm wishing you the absolute best. Take care.